Okay, so we've all been sold this amazing, tantalizing promise, right? Generative AI is going to step in and do all our heavy lifting. It's going to draft our documents, it'll summarize our meetings, and basically leave us with these beautiful, wide-open calendars. Sounds like an absolute dream. But, well, groundbreaking new research is showing that this dream is actually a bit of a mirage. In this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly why AI might not be reducing your workload at all. In fact, it's probably intensifying it.
So I really want you to ask yourself right now, be totally honest here. Is AI actually saving you time? Think about it. If you're using AI tools at work, do you magically have more free hours in your day? Or do you somehow feel busier and more stressed than ever before?
Because the gap between that big promise of less work and the actual reality of what's happening is honestly pretty jarring. Let's look at this in-depth 8-month study. Researchers tracked about 200 employees at a major U.S. tech company. They literally observed their daily habits, tracked how they communicated, and interviewed folks all across the company. And the reality they uncovered? Totally wild. AI tools didn't reduce work at all. Consistently, they intensified it. People ended up working at a much faster pace, they took on way more tasks, and their work hours stretched deeper and deeper into the evening.
So instead of kicking back on a beach somewhere while the computer does the work, we're out here juggling a million things at once, racing against the clock, and just drowning in endless notifications. It's this invisible workload creep. And the crazy part, the company in this study didn't even force their employees to use AI. People did it totally voluntarily because AI just makes doing more feel so accessible. But it is a quiet trap. The researchers actually nailed down 3 major problems driving this, so let's break them down. All right, let's dive right into problem number 1, doing other people's jobs.
Researchers actually call this task expansion. Basically, it's stepping into responsibilities way outside your normal role just because AI makes it feel, well, doable. Because generative AI can instantly patch holes in your knowledge, tasks that used to be super intimidating suddenly feel easy to tackle. So in the study, you had product managers and designers who suddenly started writing code, you had researchers taking on full-blown engineering tasks. Instead of passing the baton to the right department, people were just trying things out with the AI. And sure, it feels like this amazing superpower at first, but all those little experiments, they add up to a massive, massive widening of your job scope. You end up absorbing work that literally used to require a whole other human being.
And you know what the really painful knock-on effect of all this is? The actual experts end up having to step in and clean up the mess. Engineers in the study found themselves constantly coaching colleagues who were just vibe coding. When non-experts use AI to do expert-level work, the real engineers have to burn their time reviewing, correcting, and fixing all this half-baked code. And this explosion of work wasn't happening in official meetings. It was happening constantly in quick Slack messages and tiny little desk-side interruptions.
Which brings us to problem number 2, the death of downtime.
So the big thing here is that AI completely blurs our boundaries. It lowers the barrier to entry so much that you don't really have to face a blank page anymore. Because of that, the friction of starting a task is gone. Workers in the studies started slipping work into moments that used to be their breaks. They'd fire off a prompt while eating lunch or while waiting for a big file to download. Because typing a prompt feels way more like texting a friend than doing actual formal work, people would shoot off one quick last prompt right before leaving for the day just to let the AI run while they walk to their car. Over time, doing this stuff rarely feels like you're working more. But the result? A workday with literally 0 natural pauses. Work becomes ambient. It's just always there, hovering in the background, capable of being pushed just a tiny bit further. The workers in the study realized, kind of too late, that their downtime had completely lost its sense of recovery. The boundary between work and life didn't officially vanish, but it got dangerously easy to cross without even noticing.
And that rolls us right into problem number 3, the multitasking illusion.
AI introduces this totally new rhythm to our day. People are doing way more multitasking. Workers reported manually writing code on one screen while simultaneously having the AI generate an alternative version on another, or running multiple AI agents all at the same time. It feels incredible, like you have this digital partner helping you absolutely fly through your workload. But the reality? You're constantly switching your attention. You're checking AI outputs, tweaking prompts, and managing this growing mountain of open loops. Your cognitive load absolutely skyrockets. You might feel productive, but you also feel like you are just endlessly juggling.
It's a complete vicious cycle. Think about it. Step 1, AI speeds up your tasks. Step 2, because things are moving faster, the unspoken expectations for speed in the office shoot up. Step 3, to meet those crazy new expectations, workers become even more reliant on AI. And Step 4, that increased reliance widens their scope of work even further. It just expands the sheer density of everything they're trying to do. So saving a few minutes at the micro level actually leads to doing vastly more work at the macro level.
So this whole productivity explosion, kind of a myth. One engineer in the study hit the nail on the head, saying, you had thought that maybe, because you could be more productive with AI, then you save some time, you can work less, but then really you don't work less, you just work the same amount or even more. What looks like higher productivity in the short run is actually just masking a silent workload creep, a ton of cognitive strain, and eventually total burnout.
Okay, so how do we actually fix this? Let's talk about the solution, building an AI practice.
The absolute most important takeaway for leaders here is that asking employees to self-regulate, that is not a winning strategy. Why? Because the extra effort is totally voluntary, and it honestly feels like fun, empowering experimentation at first. The natural gravitational pull of AI isn't to contract our work, it's to intensify it. So companies literally have to step in and build intentional norms and routines around how this stuff is used. Let's do a quick comparison between our old habits and this new AI practice. Instead of reacting instantly to every little AI output, we need to move to sequencing. That means batching notifications and protecting focus windows so work actually advances in coherent steps. Instead of this nonstop acceleration, we absolutely need intentional pauses to regulate our tempo. And instead of just sitting alone engaging with a machine all day, we desperately need human grounding.
To give you an idea of an intentional pause, think about a decision pause. This is where, before a big decision is finalized, a team literally requires one solid counterargument and one clear link back to organizational goals. This doesn't ruin your momentum, it just widens your field of vision exactly enough to protect against drifting off mission. It puts a hard stop to that quiet accumulation of overload that happens when we just accelerate without thinking.
And lastly, we really need to recognize the massive difference between a single AI perspective and getting multiple human viewpoints. AI gives you a single synthesized output, but true, genuine creative insight, that relies on rubbing shoulders with diverse human perspectives. Organizations have got to institutionalize time and space for social exchange, whether that's just a brief check-in or a structured debate. We have to break up that endless solo loop with the AI to restore our sanity and our creativity.
Because at the end of the day, the promise of AI isn't just about what it can do for your work, it's about how thoughtfully you integrate it into your life. Without a clear intention, AI makes it incredibly easy to do more, but basically impossible to stop. So wrapping this all up, the big question is, are you actively shaping how you use AI, or is it quietly shaping you? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.